Well, welcome to the Daily Shift. I'm doing a series called Made for More, and it's a 21-day series. Today, we're going to be doing an EFT around imposter syndrome. An EFT, you might know it as tapping. It's emotional freedom technique. And it's a really great way for you to really quickly um, emotionally regulate, which is a huge buzzword because so many people are under stress. And yesterday we were talking about worries and doubts and imposter syndrome. And if you're not sure of if you didn't see yesterday's, don't worry about it. Everything you need is going to be in the description below. And you're just going to follow along and do as I'm doing and say what I'm saying. When we start our tapping, we're going to do something called setup phrase. And it looks like a karate chop like this. And every point has a different thing that it does over here. It has to do with psychological reversal. So even though maybe this is not going to be a scenario, the symptom that you're feeling as you are saying it just with me, some things might come up for you. And whatever is coming up for you, go ahead and say it. What is not confronted is not changed. And so the reason I love this method for manifestation and also embodying is because it does so many things. When we think about the word for Jesus lovers, repent, what does that actually mean? It means to stop, turn around, and change your thinking. But how are you going to change your thinking if you don't stop first? If you don't recognize, if you're not in awareness of the erroneous belief system that's actually keeping you contained? I've been saying, a lot of people say that your brain, it'll trigger some things from your subconscious because it's trying to keep you safe. It's not. It's trying to keep you contained. And whereas keeping you contained is within the realms of your heart, which is your belief systems, because out of it are the issues, the boundaries, the limitations of your life. So if you want to have a different life, what you want is to create a new belief system that has what is stronger. Sometimes we have competing belief systems, and that's why we have the cha-cha. Sometimes, we break through, sometimes we don't. Sometimes when we get our breakthrough, we can't hold on to it because there are other things that are competing with it. So you can actually have two contradictory belief systems, but it's the one that has the most fire, the most fuel, the most emotional attachment in that moment is what's going to be leading you. So this is a great way for you to begin to melt down those erroneous belief systems by confronting what is, and I talked about that before, how I was a victim of toxic positivity in the church. And it almost led me to myself 4 different times. I was in the process of it when God saved me all 4 times. So after the 4th time, I promised him I will not do that again. So now I can recognize when I'm sorry to go back into that. If I go back into that dark place, I'm able to recognize it. And so I know what it feels like to feel like as though your thoughts are out of control and your feelings are out of control and not sure what to do, and to go into such a deep pit of despair. And at the time, I was already a Christian. I was married. I had 3 kids. And still, I wanted to I thought it was better if I wasn't here, which was a huge lie. That's not true. It's not true for you either. So if you've ever felt that deep state of depression, the things that are happening is that they are rooted in thoughts, and the thoughts is what's causing the chemical imbalances, because the thoughts that are entertained kick off the emotions, and the emotions have it's tied to these chemicals, and then those chemicals then are influencing and pushing through actions or non-actions, and that's how you're getting your outcomes. So even if you're in this state of depression or grief, deep grief, or worry, fear, anxiety, doubt, all those things, we're not designed for it. We're designed for love. We're wired for it. So this is a way for us to settle down our emotional state, and it works really, really fast. So gauge where you are, and then we're going to do the setup phrase. And then because of the camera and for the sake of time, we don't have to do all the points, which also include the fingers. We're just going to do the top of the head, like right in the middle, sides of the eyebrows. So it's like tap, tap, tap in between your eyebrows, underneath your eyes, like this crevice right here. And then this crevice right here, collarbone, because of the camera, wrist, and then we'll start all over again. You can't do it wrong. That's why whatever words come up for you, use those words. We're going to first confront it, and then it kind of creates a void, and we're going to take our power back, and then we're going to put in the things that we want to embody. It works very fast. You're going to see how you'll come in feeling about yourself one way, and by the time we're done together, you're going to feel another. Now, I have some notes here of some of the things that was given to me around some symptoms and scenarios. So even again, if they're not your particular one, just in this first round, go ahead and say what I'm saying. And as you're doing that, you're going to find that the words for you will bubble up, and then you can just say your words. All right, my loves? All right. Repeat after me. Today, I take responsibility for my life, which just means I have the ability to respond. And this moment, I choose to respond this way. I am now taking my power back. I choose to love, accept, and forgive myself because God loves me. He accepts me in the beloved. He has already forgiven me. So I receive that for myself right now. And so it is. Okay. Release. Set to tap. Imposter syndrome, doubts, worries, anxieties, even things that sound like wisdom, because I'm a critical thinker. Sometimes it's not wisdom or being cautious. Sometimes it shows up like this. I might hesitate to raise my prices or to go after that job, even though I know that what I do is worth so much more. So it might look like persistent anxiety or nervousness before an important meeting or discussion or presentation. Or downplaying my achievements when someone compliments me, when someone compliments my success in business or my career. So it could look like difficulty, accepting praise or compliments about my work or achievements. It might feel really uncomfortable. Or maybe it's this, obsessively preparing for a meeting or a discussion, fearing that I'll be found out as inadequate. So it might cause me to procrastinate on big projects or opportunities due to fear of failure. Maybe, is it color? Maybe it's avoiding networking events or speaking opportunities due to not feeling good enough. So it could look like overworking, perfectionism to prove my worth, to prove I am capable. It can look like constantly comparing myself to other people in my field and feeling like I'm falling short, feeling like I'm falling behind. It might look like physical symptoms, like tension headaches, stomach knots, shallow breathing, but thinking about these career challenges, or maybe some other challenges in my life. And even though I'm experiencing some of these things or feeling some of these things, I choose to love, accept, and forgive myself. And this is why I can. How I feel is only a byproduct of what I've been thinking. When something comes up, is just a circumstance. For the most part, it is neutral. It only has meaning because I give it meaning. And I give it meaning through my belief system. So the way my beautiful mind works is that something happens. My belief is to filter. I take a thought about it. I'm actually taking the thought if I start to entertain it. And as I take it, chemical reactions start, thousands of them per second. That's how cool my body is. It's a supercomputer that starts to activate emotions. They flare up, and that then pushes me into action or inaction. And then I have the outcome. That's really it. It's the way I'm designed to succeed. And I've been using my design against myself, almost like an autoimmune. I didn't realize that I was hurting myself. The thoughts that get first served up by my beautiful brain, they're not helping me. There's a lie that says that your brain is just trying to keep you safe. That's not true. It's keeping me contained. And it contains me based on the thoughts I have been entertaining the last 60 to 90 days. That's it. That's all. My brain is just serving me the easiest thing it can pick out. So if my mind was thinking on good things, it will first offer up, most likely, a good thing. Or even if it serves me up something not so good, the thought right after it would be good. Because that's what I've been entertaining and thinking about. That's how my brain works. Because it's doing so many things, it's just looking for least resistance. And it's going to give me the thought that has been nurtured recently. It's easier for my brain to do that because it's taking in millions of bits of data every single second. It's just reserving energy. That's it. So there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. There's a difference between my behavior and my habits. But those have been groomed into me by various means. But who I am, who I really am, I'm choosing to believe what God says about me. And this is also how I take my power back. I choose to believe that I am that. I am beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose, for a purpose, for such a time as this. And yes, I recognize that there are habits I have that are not serving me. But right now, this is serving me. And I say more to this. The things that have happened in the past, they don't even exist anymore. So I can reframe them as data. And I choose to start to allow it to get detached from my emotions. I don't want my emotions to run it. Everything runs from the voice of my mind. And that is the good news. That's good news because it means that by the act of my will, like I'm doing right now, I can take control at any time and give new directions to my brain, to my heart, to my cells, because my cells also speak. It also holds memory. like tiny little hearts sending information. But all of it gets a direction from the voice of my mind. And so I command my brain to execute the following. Subconscious, you will now follow this, my voice, when it comes to specifically this thing. I command you to dismantle the lie that I believe that I am inadequate. That is not true. I'm in process. I am always learning. I am brilliant. I'm smart. We can figure this out. God has made a way where there seems to be none. There's always a way. I command my subconscious to dismantle the anchors that are causing any anxiety. It is not the circumstance giving me anxiety. It is the thought I'm having about it, of what might happen. That's in the future. That doesn't even exist. Just like the past, it doesn't exist. All I have is now. So there's no reason for me to get nervous over things that haven't even happened yet, because anything is possible. And if anything is possible, I might as well believe that it was going to work out in my favor. And I don't need to feel weird when someone gives me a compliment about the success I've had. I can simply say thank you and receive it graciously. I'm good at recognizing other people's accomplishments and really cheering them on. It's time for me to allow the receiving of that as well. I don't have to obsess and over prepare out of fear. But if I am going to over prepare, may it be with the heart of excellence, because I want to do well. There's no such thing as perfectionism. That's a lie too. It's excellence that has been perverted, overworking as well. There's no need for it. I don't need to prove anything. I know the world might say so. I don't need to prove anything. I'm doing this because I want to produce an excellent product. It's not about proving it to themselves or to other people, or even proving it to myself. It's because I want to deliver something excellent. That is a good thing. I don't need to avoid events and be like, well, I'm an introvert. I'm an empath, so I don't want to be around people. But everything I want is in the gift of someone else. So I can go ahead and be a gift to other people by showing up. They need what I have, and I need what they have inside of them. We are gifts to each other. So it's okay. That's why I don't need to compare myself. I'll stay in my own lane. If I stay in my own lane, work on my own things, that is where my joy is. That is where my peace is. That is where I'm going to find contentment. That is where I'm going to have fun. Sticking to my own lane. And as I do, any headaches will subside. Any stomach knots will go away. My breathing will become better. And I don't have to overthink challenges. I've got this. I am not alone. I have God with me. And that is always more than enough. I speak peace over myself. I speak joy over myself. And I enter into this rest, knowing that I'm loved by the creator of all good things, knowing that I'm accepted in the beloved, knowing that I'm forgiven in the beloved. I am at peace. And I can feel that even right now. It's washing over me. And so it is. Take a breath. Hold. Release. Sometimes people yawn when they're doing this, or they feel sleepy, and that's just your body regulating itself. So that's okay. Even if you don't yawn or have any other physical things, it's okay. But right now you feel better than you did before you started. And if you still want to feel even better, just go ahead, rewind this and do it again. Do it. You can't overdose on this, so go ahead and do it as much as you need to. I do a lot of things like this with my membership called the Society, which is amazing. One of my favorite things I do with them is that not only do I curate things like this for the group and meditations, I meet live with them twice a month for live group coaching. My favorite thing right now, which I'm so happy that like 30 to 40% take advantage of right now, is that I get to do 24/7 asynchronous coaching. So what is that? That means you send me a text through the portal and I'm answering you within a business day. And most times a little bit sooner, but depending on what's going on, I check in a few times a day and then I go ahead and answer whatever's there. So that what I do is I help you to dismantle those thoughts, right? Because it does go your thoughts and then your emotions and then your actions or non-actions and then your results. So if you want to change your results, you need to, fix it where it's trickling before it becomes a dam and then you're in a crisis. So if you're in a crisis, you can still reverse it by changing the way you're thinking. And it has to be on purpose because there are now habits and lifestyle things that have been created in your brain that's the first thing that it's serving you. Does it take a long time? No. Like even now, you're feeling more peaceful. Did that take a long time? No, I didn't. And that's why I also created this 21-day series, because that way you can take, one of the videos every single day. I also have one on manifestation, and that's down below too. You can go to the page and it gives you all the videos in order as well. Why 21 days? Because 21 days helps you to build momentum. I was reading something that Dr. Caroline Leaf, who's a neuroscientist, and she explains it this way, like, it can take 21 days or less, a little bit less, but generally around 21 days to start dismantling a toxic thought. And a toxic thought is a thought that's not serving you. That's not true. It's not empowering you. And so you need to start, you can do what you want, you're grown. But this is why I have this here, that you can go ahead and do this. And so the first 7 days, she says it's like, I forget what she calls it, but I'm going to call it a button, but that's not what she calls it. So think of it like it's small. And then after 14 days, it starts to morph. And then, she calls it like a lollipop. So it starts to get a little bit longer. And then in 21 days, it's like a mushroom. So it's actually that's when it goes into long-term memory, which is what you want. You want your healthy thought about yourself, the healthy thought of where you're going, the healthy thought of who you want to be, to go into your long-term memory, so that when things happen, guess what your brain's going to be serving up. So this is why you do that. And anybody can do anything for 21 days. So this kind of thing is what I call the 1% solution, where the actual activity is 1% of your day, or less than 15 minutes a day. And if you do that consistently, it's like building that ROI for yourself, so that when life happens, because life happens, now your brain, who is your helper, who is your assistant in your life, will serve you the thought that you need, that was going to support you to have the healthy emotions around it, and then be able to do what you do best, which is to think. That is actually your gift. And then you'll know what action to take. You'll have you'll have aligned actions. So if you want aligned actions, then all you have to do is embody one new thought. You're literally one new thought away from what you want. What is the embodied thought that's going to get you to where you need to be? And this is why I do the asynchronous coaching with my clients in the Society, because it helps you, right? Every single day, things are happening. If this is new to you, this is a way for you to have that extra support. So not only do you get my support, you also get the support and community from the other amazing people who are in the Society. If that's of interest to you, you can check us out for $7.77 for the first 14 days, and then it's $97 a month after that. You could also do my one-to-one, but right now my one-to-one is only available through the society, which is a 21-day accelerator, and everything you need to know is inside the group. That's normally right now $333, but for the society members, it's only $147, and I can only do a handful of those a month. So if you're interested in either one of those, then go ahead and join us in the inside. And until next time, which will be very, very soon, I'll see you in the next video in this series. May God's riches and best be yours. Bye now.